What's that glowing ring hovering above the pitch? A UFO? A crown? Or a sign that Luton Town is about to shock the entire world? Stay to the end, because you won't believe how close this club is about to make something revolutionary. The future of Luton Town football is the Power Court, a bold new chapter that fuses Luton's past with its future in English football, and is home to the most futuristic stadium lighting system on the planet. Then, we have to start by admiring the rows upon rows of terraced houses in Bedfordshire, home of the beloved, centuries-old Kenilworth Stadium, the ancient home of Luton FC. The energy here is raw, loud, and intimate, thanks to the closeness between fans and pitch, making the Kenny an intimidating venue for visiting teams. However, the Kenny isn't exactly what you'd expect from a conventional venue. It's much more humble than, well, almost every other stadium, with just 12,056 seats and barely enough space to squeeze in the fans. In fact, the away entrance is so close to the neighboring homes that visiting supporters actually walk past someone's laundry line to get in. It's a scene straight out of Sunday League football, not the Premier League, but there's nothing bad about that. It's this connection to football's gritty roots what makes Kenilworth Road so special to Luton fans and football history in general. But there's a reason for that, and it is that Luton FC only rose to Premier League status in the 2022 to 2023, so of course their home stadium isn't exactly up to their standards, since they never needed to upgrade it. Then they got relegated shortly after. Nonetheless, in an age of billion-dollar arenas with tens of thousands of seats and 5G-powered megastructures, that also means the Kenny is falling behind in terms of infrastructure, and fans are beginning to wonder if it's time to let go the vintage charm in favor of a new ground worthy of Premier League standards. So is Luton really leaving a stadium that's been its home since 1905? Sorry to break it like this, but they've been trying to do that for nearly 70 years. No hard feelings towards the Kenny, but ever since Luton Town's first promotion to the First Division in 1955, the club just knew that their home stadium was falling behind. Even back then, it was already considered small compared to the stadiums of other top-tier clubs. Many of its stands feel cramped, and the sightlines are also restricted. Who wants to sit feeling like a sardine in a tin can? On top of that, the press boxes and hospitality areas feel like a blast from the past, literally, since many of them date back to the last century. It's no surprise that VIP guests and media teams often feel out of place. And accessibility? With staircases everywhere and no modern accommodations, let's just say fans with disabilities are forced to think twice before attending a match. All of these issues became glaringly apparent when Luton Town secured promotion in 2022, forcing the club into a frantic multi-million-pound renovation just to meet minimum Premier League standards in time for the new season. The club had 3 months to invest £10 million into quick upgrades, including temporary broadcast infrastructure and improvements to dressing rooms and media zones. But everyone knew this was just a band-aid, as it still has the same issues of cramped seating and limited accessibility. In short, the Kenny's infrastructure simply wasn't designed for the demands of 21st century football. But the solution's easy. If Anfield could expand its main stand and modernize its facilities, couldn't Luton just do the same to the Kenny? Wrong. You can't knock down a stand and build bigger when your nearest neighbor's kitchen window is practically touching the back wall. Any attempt to modernize the stadium on a large scale would require major property buyouts, rezoning, and likely the demolition of surrounding homes, because Kenilworth Road is boxed in on all sides by rows of terraced houses and narrow streets. One of the more ambitious efforts came in the mid-90s, when then-Chairman David Kohler unveiled plans for a futuristic 20,000-seat indoor arena called the Kohler Dome. It was bold, imaginative, and ultimately rejected by the government in 1998. Kohler left shortly after, and the dream of a new home was shelved once again. But the ambition never really died, and now, it seems, Luton might finally be ready to make it happen. Since a massive demolition of local homes isn't exactly anyone's cup of tea, Luton's management made a bold decision to finally say goodbye to Kenilworth Road and step into the future with their heads held high. For the first time in over a century, they're ready for a new home. So, where exactly is this next chapter unfolding? 3 words: Power Court Stadium. Said to be built on a brownfield site in central Luton, this proposed stadium would be more than worthy of Premier League standards. It's opening with 23,000 seats, with room for future expansion to 27,500, ensuring the club can grow alongside its ever-passionate fan base. As one of the most recently built stadiums in the UK, Power Court will feature state-of-the-art hospitality suites, retail spaces, and entertainment areas designed to enhance the matchday experience for fans and visitors alike. But what's going to really dazzle fans of Luton FC, and we mean this literally, is this. The new Power Court Stadium will feature a stunning halo floodlighting system suspended above the pitch, a symbolic design inspired by the iconic iconic straw boater hats once manufactured in Luton. And just like the town's hat-making legacy, this isn't just for show. It's a fusion of the club's past and the future. The nods to Kenilworth Road go further than this, as Power Court's stadiums are all getting a nostalgic twist, with each side built at different heights in homage to the quirky Kenny's old infrastructure. The project has also placed a strong emphasis on environmental sustainability, incorporating green technologies and design elements from the very beginning. Perhaps most importantly, the stadium won't be a generic steel and glass box. It's being designed to reflect Luton's identity and history, with architectural touches and community input, ensuring it feels like home, not just another cookie-cutter arena. The estimated cost is £100 million plus, and planning permission was granted back in 2020, with plans to start building it as early as summer 2025. But wait a second, where did Luton even get the funds to fund a whole new stadium? For a team that only recently reached Premier League status for a short time, that sounds like a lot of money. When we said Luton's been trying to move away from the Kenny for over 70 years, we weren't just being dramatic. The club has been laying the groundwork for this move for decades through strategic land deals. As it turns out, in 2015, the club's development arm, 2020 Developments, purchased the 37-acre site located at Junction 10 of the M1 motorway. The intention was to develop this land to generate funds for the club. In December 2021, the best possible deal they could have achieved was finalized. The Newlands Park site was sold to an investment fund advised by Morgan Stanley Real Estate Investing and UK developer Renbridge. Because the sale happened after the COVID-19 pandemic, Luton cashed in big, timing the market perfectly to get maximum value. Behind the scenes, the team has also carefully refined the Kenny Stadium's design, trimming unnecessary costs without sacrificing quality, like reducing the number of hospitality suites to match realistic demand, and using locally sourced materials to cut down on transportation and construction expenses. So, when you add up the money from the Newland Park sale, plus the income from their Premier League season, plus the trimmed expenses, you have a solid financial cushion for building the Power Court Stadium. The ultimate goal, a debt-free home for Luton Town, paid for by the wider site's future development once everything is up and running. LUTON FC already stated how they expect at least 1,000 direct permanent jobs to be created during the Power Court Stadium build, with more indirect jobs to be created too, which is a nice local economy boost. Surrounding the stadium, plans include public plazas and community facilities aimed at integrating the venue into the everyday life of Luton residents, rather than isolating it. And to make things even brighter for Power Court, the company that redeveloped Camp Nou will work on developing Power Court Stadium. So if you've watched our video on Camp Nou's billion-euro renovation, you can imagine what's coming for Power Court. The idea is for it to be ready for the 2028 to 2029 football season. And this is all being made possible thanks to Luton's recent Premier League performances, like their hard-fought victory over Crystal Palace, to that dramatic 4-4 draw against Newcastle that had fans on the edge of their seats, bringing in sponsorships and matchday earnings. But until Power Court becomes a reality, the Kenny lives on, still shaking under the chants of Hatters fans, still packing every seat for a club that refused to give up for over a century.